I could not compete with a suburb garden.
It's a whole different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
So, and there were a lot of winners. So it's like there's not like, first place, and there'd be the list of the 15 first place in each category.
Right.
So I think they're casting a wide net, which is really nice.
Oh, that's fun. Well, I hope it goes. I can't wait to hear about it tomorrow. After all of it goes through, are you gonna like bribe them with lemonade or something?
I was thinking, and something to keep the mosquitoes out is probably number one. Because mosquitoes, are they bad?
Horrible. I was just out there with the gate guy, and I was like, I'm gonna meet you up inside.
They're so bad.
They're so bad.
Yeah.
And not getting worse. And not getting better.
It makes you not want. Yeah, all summer it's been terrible.
I know.
And like I could get there's stuff, but it doesn't an oscillating fan.
Yeah, I have that on my porch, and I also have like 8 sticks of incense around me at any given time.
Yeah.
But
I think there's something to do before tomorrow.
I know. Yeah. You should get. Every time I go to an outdoor concert now, people have those individual fans.
Oh, yeah.
You should just get one for each person.
Yeah. Brought them with lemonade, fans,
and a sweet treat.
Wine. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Go to Isgrove.
10 a.m. wine.
What does he want? Gummies?
I think they think
whatever.
I'll bring it to you.
Totally.
Hi. Good. How are you?
Yeah, I think I saw you took a ballet class.
Right next to Nicole's studio.
I want to go, but I have to finish all my credits first. Yeah, for sure. Do you live in that area? Yeah, it's like a few classes. Oh, nice. And I was like so excited because I moved, and Uprising was like right near where my apartment was, and then like right when I moved it closed.
Yeah.
But then now you're there.
I know, yeah. So that's such a similar sentiment to so many people who live in that area. They're like, I loved Uprising, I went there and it closed, and now I'm happy this is open. So yeah. A lot of people from the community. Yeah. Good. Yes. Are you doing your you did your training?
Yes, I'm still finishing up, so that's what I have to do all the classes.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Hi.
And it's a great place to be.
Yeah, it's a very good thing, but I'm also like new to the area kind of, so I'm like I want to experiment with all this.
100%, yeah.
But
Definitely.
I used to be so.
I feel like we've met, but Josie. Okay, I'm nice to meet you.
I feel like Bach used to scare me so much
Intimidating.
because every time I would try and go into an entrance, it would be locked. And then after 3 attempts, I'm like, well, I can never go in here again. Yeah. But once you like find the things,
Yeah.
it's like every floor there's something new to explore.
Awesome. Yeah.
I only went there once with my sister when she was getting married. There's like a wedding dress over there.
Kinfolk?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
So I went there for that, but that's my only time.
Yeah.
That is a cool space.
Yeah, the nice thing too about going to your early morning classes is you can get machine shop early, leave it outside, and then be able to slam it.
I teach a Sunday evening class, and the baker at Machine Shop comes. And last week, I think it was, she brought a tart, like this huge lemon tart, and a chocolate mousse Meyer cake. I just like cracked them open at the end of class, so it was a slow class, and then the dessert.
Slow flow, heavy cake.
Yeah, it's like, can you bring this every week? It was amazing.
That's the true dream.
Yeah, it was dreamy for sure.
Damn. Hi, Cosmo. How you doing? Good.
Second daughter's really good.
Yeah.
Fourth daughter.
Hello.
In college, I took a beginner ballet class, and we had to do like a Romeo and Juliet. It was so horrible.
For beginner?
Well, it was like more just kind of us like trotting around the stage. But yeah, so that's my experience with ballet. But it was really fun.
I took it from age 4 to 25, like diligently, and I was cleaning out my attic and I found my old point shoes and like my tattered regular shoes, and then just quickly Googled like what, because Kale had taken a class at this studio before and was like, I loved it, so it's been in the back of my mind. And there's always, I think this was the first time that I had like done something in childhood, stopped, and then come back to it as an adult. And there's a little fear of like, is this gonna hurt me emotionally and physically? And like I know, but oh my God, the teachers she owns the studio. She's incredible. Also like the languaging around ballet. Like if you're not on a pre-professional track, it's like, here are the options. It's very yogic. And so that felt great. And also in 1 second, because you know, when you get used to yoga, your body moves in a certain way, and the ballet movements are so slow and meticulous. I've been like hobbling for the past 3 days, and like muscles in my outer butt that I haven't used in like 15 years.
That's inspiring if that happens to you.
It's humbling, yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And that's weird because like ballet is so rigid. But then it's nice to
And they have live piano accompaniment.
I noticed that. Is that every class?
Well, it's all the classes that I've been to, but I know. And Paul, who played the piano, plays at Swarthmore. So there was one time last year I was teaching, I was covering for someone, and he wasn't told, like neither of us were told that he was going to be playing. So I taught a yoga class, and he just played holiday music on the piano the whole time. And I'm like, Paul, don't look at me. I'm sweating like I've never sweat before, but it's nice to see you. But yeah, it's fun. But now that I have like a Bach agenda, it's like go to ballet and then put the body back together as Nicole. Oh, we're on so punctual. Just waiting on one more. We still have a couple minutes before we start, y'all. So take your time to get comfortable. We'll use, as we so often do, all of the props. So some therapy balls. We'll have some time to roll, a strap, 2 blocks. And we'll do a few things with the knees down. So if you'd like a blanket for any extra padding, you can grab that too. Let's check. Oh, goodness. Hi, how are you? Good. Hi, Fran. How you doing? How are you? Is it getting better? Ish?
Ish.
Okay, I'll take ish. Mm-hmm. The 3 Ps of shin splint healing. Hi. Very different. Hello, how are you? All right, y'all. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Monday in August, they keep updating the workshop schedule, and I keep tricking myself thinking that it's the end of August because there's a lot of stuff coming up in August or September. But no, we're in the beginning. There's still a whole month left of August itself. We'll use all the props. Hi, anywhere you so choose. We'll use all the props, and I can also bring stuff over to you as we start to get going, but some therapy balls, a strap, blocks, a blanket, and all the good stuff. This is very unrelated to yoga, but I saw Spider-Man yesterday. Has anyone seen it yet? Spider-Man, the new one? It's very good. Did you see it? You didn't like it? Okay. That's fair, fully fair. I've said this in class before, I have a very low threshold for movies, meaning the only movies that I like to go see are the Jennifer Lopez romantic comedies from 2000s. Like if they could play Wedding Planner in the theater year after year, I would see it again and again. But somehow, whatever, these DC or Marvel comic ones hit the spot, even though I'm watching them like this the whole time. I'm only bringing it up because if you did see it, he did a little yoga in there. There was like a part that he did before he was fighting some people. This is no spoilers because I think that's the whole crux of Spider-Man. But he was in Warrior 2 for like a full 5 minutes being like, any of you evil people stretch before? And I was like, it's working. It's coming into pop culture. So we'll do some Warrior 2 today and not channel the inner Spider-Man of us all, but see where it takes us. There are a few new folks to class, so if we didn't get a chance to officially say hi, my name is Anisha. Thank you for being here. But how are we feeling this afternoon? I have an agenda of where we're moving towards. I'm thinking some heart openers, some back bends, and some hip openers on deck just to create a lot more space for the summer months. But are there any particular requests or needs or poses or body parts that you're craving this afternoon? Oh, yeah. Yes. Now come to a partner and rub. No, I'm kidding. The parts, I have to like feel them in my own body. And this is how I feel my traps, where I'm like, where are they? What are they doing? Definitely. Great. Okay. Take your time, pace yourself, drink water. Bless you. I'll keep the fans and AC moving as we start to get a little warmer. But thank you all for being here. We'll begin together in a comfortable seat, as however that looks for you. You can definitely start lying down. You can start cross-legged. You might be seated up on your knees. But I always like to offer, if you do take a seat, maybe you see what it feels like to have your butt a little higher up on a blanket or up on the edge of your block so that the bones of your hips come a little higher than your knees, to let your low back lift and lengthen, and even let the hip flexors lengthen and soften. But as your hands fall anywhere they fall, into your lap or onto the tops of your thighs, allow for your eyes to soften to a point or fully close so you can listen for your own breath. When you close your eyes, it's a moment in time to see every part of yourself more clearly. The you that you were before you walked in. The you that you are here and now. And the you that you continue to become into with each breath that continues after. So with your eyes soft and your attention turned a little more inward than before, can you listen for and just notice your own breath? The beauty of the breath is the moment you remember it, it inherently remembers you in return. You might notice the cool air as it comes in through the nose, and the warmth of your exhale as you offer it out through the nose or mouth. Keep that soft attention to your breath as you naturally let it deepen, letting your next inhale move from your nose, down into your belly, and up into your chest. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through the very top of your head, so your head might rest above your heart, as your heart sits above your hips. We'll begin our practice and our time together with 3 more rounds of that breath. So as you're ready, begin to gather your hands to center, anywhere that might feel for you, somewhere on your person or in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra. But as you wait for your next inhale, let it fill you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. 2 more times on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for even a moment. Take notice of the difference that comes when you remember and really listen for your own breath. As you keep that connection inward, let your hands slowly release. Start to blink your eyes open and come forward to tabletop this afternoon to start to link your breath and movement together through a couple rounds of cat and cow. You might have your blocks framing out the front sides of your mat. Perhaps you use them as we move around. Feel free to have that blanket underneath your knees for some extra padding, but with your hands as wide as your mat, with your knees under your hips, begin to curl all 10 of your toes under to feel the arches of your feet. And moving on your own, start to round and arch your spine through a few rounds of cat and cow. Let's go for 5 cycles of breath here just on your own. And feel free to stay moving in the slow breath per movement. Or you might take a couple of extra breaths in the rounded or arched shape, or even moving back and forth. But can you feel not just your body moving on its own, but how your breath and body really sync and harmonize together? When you find your next exhale, come back to table, find your neutral spine. And this time you'll keep your lower half, your hips, your knees, and feet where they are, as you begin to walk your hands a few handprints forward of your shoulders, keeping them as wide as your mat. Now take a look at your wrists, and as you inhale, shrug both shoulders to the ears, get very long through the sides of your waist. And for puppy pose, begin to press your palms forward to let your chest and even your forehead get heavier to a block or to the floor in between your hands. I want you to think of this less like child's pose. So if your hips are close to your heels, see if you can come out halfway. Walk your hands further forward and wider so that the thighs are vertical-ish, and let the chest melt down towards the floor like a puppy getting ready to play. With your head connected to something solid, do your best to breathe here. Slow down the next breath in. And as you exhale, can you feel the ribs slide towards your spine as the shoulder blades soften towards each other? Stay bowing in your puppy for just a few more breaths. This time without changing anything, press your palms down into your sticky mat. And when you lift, just the undersides of your arms away from the ground, so the elbows, the forearms, and even the wrists. And now keeping those arms lifted, press your palms forward to stretch your butt back 1 more centimeter to breathe into that space that was always there. On your next inhalation, press through your palms, rise back up to table. As you walk your hands to come as wide as your mat, walk your knees a few inches behind your hips, curl all 10 of those toes under, and take it back to downward facing dog with all of the breaths and all the time you need to find your way there. In this first down dog of class, really any of them today, see if you can bring your feet just a centimeter wider than they are already. Begin to lift both of your heels and take a tiny bend in your knees. This will give some space in the hamstrings and in the backs of your legs. Now, keeping a tiny bend in the knees, can you stick your butt up and back to the wall behind you? Keep the knees soft as you slide the ribs back to support the middle of your back. A slow breath in and a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. Now lift your heels a little higher, a tinier bend in your knees as you look forward, and 1 foot at a time begin to walk those feet towards your palms to come into your forward fold as you bow in. Your blocks are right there. Your hands might come high onto blocks out in front of your feet so the floor can rise to meet you where you are. You might widen your feet an inch or soften the knees to give your low back some extra room. But let your head be heavy as you take a few breaths, bowing in towards yourself. A slow breath in through the nose and a longer breath out through your nose or mouth, bowing towards your own self, your own heart. And now after a few breaths with your hands to your hips, stand through your legs, and a slow breath in brings you up to stand as your hands rest down by your sides. With your feet right underneath you, take a long inhale to reach your arms forward and up to the sky. As you exhale, soften your knees, hinge from your hips to fold. On an inhale, come up halfway to lengthen, hands to those blocks or shins as you reach your chest forward. And on your exhale, fold. Plant your palms as you step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. We'll be here for a few breaths, so maybe your knees are lifted. Maybe you tap them to the floor behind you, but see if your hands can come as wide as your mat. And now without moving those hands, try to hug your palms towards each other to feel the forearms ignite. Slide your ears back. Let your head be in line with your heart as you take a slow breath in. And on your exhale, begin to bend your elbows to lower all the way down to your belly. Keep those hands wide. Inhale to rise for baby cobra or cobra. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog, tabletop, or puppy pose for 3 slow breaths here on your own. Just like you did when you were seated, can you turn your attention to the subtlety of your breath? Feel the cool air as it comes in through the nose, and the warmth of your exhale as you offer it through your nose or parted lips. And as you keep that awareness to your breath, try to slow the top of your inhale down and lengthen the bottom of your exhale out before the cycle begins again. At the bottom of your next breath, take your time, begin to lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands, to your standing forward fold. Inhale lengthens you halfway, grow longer through the spine. And as you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Take a slow, steady breath to rise. Stand through your legs, sweep your arms up to the sky. And as you exhale, let those hands come down by your side. One more time, follow your breath more than my voice. On an inhale, reach up. As you exhale, fold, Uttanasana, bowing in. Take a slow breath to lengthen halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And on your exhale, fold as you step it back to plank pose. A full round of breath here in your plank. As you exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. With those hands as wide as your mat, inhale to rise for cobra. Kiss the shoulder blades towards one another. And on your exhale, back to downward facing dog, table, or puppy for 3 more breaths here on your own. These Surya Namaskars, these sun salutations we so often do in the beginning of class. They're not only a way to warm the body, to link breath and movement, but the thought is in one round, your body moves the whole range of motion that your spine might move throughout class. You fold forward, you bend over backward, you go upside down, all in harmony with the breath itself. So notice any shifts that you might feel. And when you find the bottom of your exhale, begin to lift your heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands, back to your forward fold. Inhale lengthens you halfway. And on your exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Take a slow breath in to rise. Stand through your legs, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana. And as you exhale, let your hands come down by your sides. On your next breath, one more time, reach up, touch the sky. As you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Use your own fists to measure those feet about 2 fists width apart. That's relatively hip distance. And keeping your toes pointing straight ahead, bend your knees, sit your butt back, and hands come up to your thighs for this round of chair pose. Now, as your butt gets heavy, let the knees slowly guide open towards those second and third toes. Think ribs back. As you push into the thighs, lift your chest away from the floor. Stay right here. If you want to add some heat in the upper body, reach your arms to the sky. But listen for the breath, a slow breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, let your hips get heavy as you lift your gaze an inch away from the floor. On an inhale, come all the way up to rise, reach up to touch the sky. And as you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward, slide your left foot all the way back to find your lunge, and come high up onto your blocks or fingertips on either side of your front foot. Wiggle the left toes back another inch or 2 to get longer in your stance. And as your left hand stays connected, reach your right arm straight ahead to the front of the room to grow 1 inch longer through the fingertips. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, wrap your right hip back and start to turn your chest and belly open to the right. Let's do that 2 more times. A big circle, reach the right arm back and then forward. Big breath in. Every exhale, revolve. 1 more on your inhale, reach through the right fingers. And now the 3rd time, stay twisting open to the right as your right arm reaches to the ceiling. Lift your back, heel, and thigh higher away from the floor. Wrap your right butt cheek back, and now lean back against yourself as you take a slow breath in. Stay for the exhale and bend into your right knee as you lean back. Good. Inhale to unwind, lower your right hand, look forward, and all the leaps you need to bring your left foot to meet your right. As you inhale, come up halfway to lengthen, grow long through the spine. And exhale to fold in towards yourself. With those feet hip width apart, slide your right foot back through to lunge. Come high onto your blocks as you wiggle the right toes back a few more inches. Now, how long can you get? Press into the blocks to reach your chest forward and stretch your left fingertips towards the front of the room. Grow 1 inch longer, wrap the left butt cheek back. And now with your breath, take a full breath in and exhale to twist open to the left, a big circle with that left arm. Twice more with your breath, more than my voice. See what the shoulder, the wrist, and even the forearm feels like as you turn and rotate to the left. And now the 3rd time you twist open, stay for a few breaths, reaching your left arm to the sky. Lift your right thigh higher away from the ground. Wrap your left hip back. And as you lean back against yourself, take a slow breath in. Stay for the exhale, bend into your left knee as you slide the ears back. On an inhale, begin to unwind, lower your hands to your sticky mat and step it all the way back to downward facing dog. With those hands as wide as your mat, take up some room. Inhale through to plank pose. Wait for your exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to rise for Cobra. Press your feet down as you lift your chest up. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, take your time. Inhale, the right leg lifts up and back. Step your right foot through to find your lunge. Can pivot slide your right foot a few inches over to the right. And on your inhale, come up to rise for high lunge as you reach your arms to the sky. Good. With the feet less on a tightrope, more on train tracks like you did in that lunge, can you lift your back heel, knee, and thigh? Stretch up through the fingertips, look away from the ground as you bend 1 more inch into your front knee. Now slide your right hand to your hip, grow 1 inch taller through the left fingers, and for a side bend, begin to tip up and over to the right towards the brick wall. You can stay here with your hand on your hip for more support. Your right hand might grab onto your left wrist, but as you tip to the right, think ribs back, slide the left hip forward, and then the ears come back in space to lift your chin. A big breath in. Stay for the exhale and bend 1 more inch into that front knee. And now inhale to return through center. Let your hands tap the floor and step it back to downward facing dog. A couple more times together. Inhale through to your plank. Wait for the exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to rise for Cobra. Think ribs back, kiss the shoulder blades together. And exhale to take it back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, there's no rush. Lift the left leg up and back. Step your left foot through to find your lunge. Heel toe your left foot an inch over to the left, and as you inhale, come up to rise for high lunge. Good. Find a point to gaze that steadies you, that's maybe away from the floor. And like you did in that twisted lunge, can you lift your back thigh? Wrap your right hip forward as you stretch up through the fingertips. Now with your left hand on your hip, grow tall through the right arm and up and over to the left for that standing side bend. Can you slide the ribs back? Maybe bring the ears back, and completely optional for your left hand to grab the right wrist. But a slow breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, bend 1 more inch into your front knee as you tip up and over to the left. Inhale to return through center. Let your hands come down to the floor and all the way back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, inhale to plank pose. And as you exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Once you're on your belly, reach your arms alongside of you and turn your palms down to face the floor. Now as you rest on your chin or on your forehead for a breath, feel your legs in space. And without moving them, can you push the tops of your feet down to feel your kneecaps lift? And now hug your inner thighs towards each other. Push your palms into your sticky mat. Hug the shoulder blades together. And for locust pose, on your inhale, start to lift your head, lift your chest, float your arms up and away from the ground. And as you exhale, lift your legs away from the earth to take flight. As you lift, try to soften or even close your eyes and let it be in reverence to your breath. Each inhale, they do not have to touch, but think the inner thighs hug towards each other and the insides of your pants lift. Every exhale, hug the shoulder blades together as you take 1 more breath in. Stay for the exhale, and now slowly lower all the way down onto your belly. You can make a pillow with your hands. Maybe you rest on one side of your cheek or on your forehead. You might wiggle your butt from side to side, but let it be an offering to your breath first and foremost. A slow belly breath in and a long exhale out through your nose or mouth. Just to keep it even, if you're on one cheek or on one side of your palm, you might switch which one you're on and take 1 more of those 3-dimensional breaths from belly to chest to the whole back of your body. And each exhale, let some part of you get heavier against the earth. That's it. After a few breaths here, bring your hands to either side of your chest. Press up through to tabletop. You can sit back onto your heels, sip some water, take a breath or two. But if you have a strap, we'll use it now to get a bit into the shoulders. So you might unravel your strap from its rubber band and set it off to the right. The air conditioning is on. Fans are on. Take time, drink water, pace yourself anytime that you need, even if I don't suggest. But let's get a little more into the shoulders and the feet. So once the strap is off to the right, come back forward to tabletop, please, and walk your legs as close as they can come together. So thighs, calves, and feet to touch. For this one, you'll curl all 10 of your toes under and squeeze the heels together. For Vajrasana, or thunderbolt pose, start to sit your butt back onto your heels, keeping the toes curled. To alleviate any pressure, You can always bring a block between your butt and your heels. You might also stand up on your knees with the toes curled. But go ahead and grab the strap with your right hand, reach your right arm forward and up. Bend your right elbow to pat yourself on the back. And now let the left arm reach to the side. Turn your left thumb to face the ground. And as you bend your left elbow, you might catch the dangly edge of the strap somewhere at your low, your mid, or upper back. Good, that's it. Now here, for this version of Gomukhasana, cow face pose, try to wrap the right arm towards your ear, right elbow to the ear. Feel your left elbow slide more to the middle of your spine. And now with some resistance, gently tug your strap apart as you press your head back. A slow breath in and down. Stay for the exhale as you offer all of that breath out and try to release the white knuckling of your fingers around the strap. It'll still stay. Now inhale to release the arms, rock it back forward to tabletop. Shake out your feet, roll those ankles out, give them a second to reset. And now similar yet different, slide your strap off to the left. And with those legs as close as they can come together, let the tops of your feet come down. At the last second, those calves get in the way and sometimes the heels splay out. Do your best to keep the heels hugging in towards each other, and you'll feel this more in the ankles. Again, a block to alleviate or standing up on the knees, but grab that strap in your left hand. Reach your left arm forward and up. And as you bend your left elbow, give yourself a pat on the upper back. With the right arm to the side, turn your right thumb down. So when you bend your elbow, you might have more access to grabbing onto the strap. And now sometimes here, my left elbow always wants to splay off to the left. Even if they don't move anywhere, think of these actions of wrapping the left elbow towards the ear. Slide the right elbow more to the middle of your spine. And now some resistance. Tug your strap apart as you press your head back to lift your chin and slide the ribs back to steady the middle of your back. A long breath in and down. Stay for the exhale as you offer the breath up and out through every direction. Now with care, release the strap, rock it back forward to table, roll out the ankles, roll out the feet. And after a few breaths, you'll meet in downward facing dog. One more time, walk your hand, well, many more times, but one more time for now as your hips lift to the sky. Gotta get into the thigh stretches. So you might mentally see where your blanket's at as you lift your right leg up and back. Bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand for your lizard lunge. You'll lower your left knee down onto a blanket or to the floor so that your left knee is behind the hip. Now I like to come up onto my blocks. You might be on your fingertips, but as you press into the blocks or floor, lift your chest high and begin to walk your hands a few inches over to the left corner of your mat, away from the right leg. Look over your left shoulder, say hi to your left foot. So as you bend your left knee and lift your left toes up, your left hand reaches around for the top of the foot. Maybe you have your strap close by. Maybe you grab onto the ankle or the heel for the knee down thigh stretch. But here, once you grab a hold of the foot, think bottom ribs back. Hug the shoulder blades together and start to lift your gaze away from the floor. You can stay here the entire time, or you might begin to walk your right hand to the inside of the right foot, just where it was. Staying holding on to the back foot, maybe you play with some balance and climb your right palm up onto the right thigh. Maybe you reach your right arm up overhead, and like you did, bend your right elbow to pat yourself on the upper back. But anywhere you find yourself, can you look away from the ground and really remember the breath, a slow breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, bend one more inch into your right knee as you lift your gaze away from the floor. Now with care, let your right hand touch down first, then let go of your back foot as you step it all the way back to tabletop. Take a breath in table, and we'll meet in downward facing dog as your hips lift up and back to the wall behind you. Pedal those heels one at a time. Take a breath to see any shifts that you might feel. And we got the other leg to do. Lift the left leg up and back. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand and take your time to lower your right knee onto any padding that you so choose. Sometimes when you set up from this way, it means the right hip is right above the knee. If it is, can you walk your knee back so that the thigh is more diagonal to the floor? Now push into your blocks or fingertips as you lift your chest up. And when you walk your hands over to the right, we're trying to shorten the distance between your hand and your foot. So when you bend your knee, the foot might feel a little closer versus when it does from here. So as you reach your hand back for the strap or for the foot, slide the ribs back. Hug the shoulder blades together. Stay right here breathing, or any of those variations we did on the first side. You might do here, bringing your left hand to the inside of the foot, climbing it up onto the thigh to play with that balance. You might reach your left arm up to the ceiling, bend your left elbow to pat yourself on the upper back. But anywhere you are in this back bend, think ribs back, lift your gaze as you take a slow breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, bend into your front knee as you lift your heart away from the floor. And now inhale to release that left hand, then let the back foot go. Plant your palms and all the way back to downward facing dog for a breath longer. From your down dog, begin to lift both heels. Take a tiny bend in your knees, and one foot at a time, walk your feet to the middle of your mat. Walk your hands to the middle of your mat to meet yourself somewhere in the middle, folding and bowing in. With your hands on blocks or the floor, take a few breaths here in Uttanasana, a slow breath in through the nose, and a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. And now begin to climb your hands up onto your hips. Stand down through your legs, and an inhale brings you all the way up to rise as your hands come down by your sides. All right, let's play with a little balance with one foot on the floor and the other. So some options. You can always have your blocks at their highest height somewhere to the top of your mat, so you have something for your foot to land into. But start with your feet right underneath your hips and bring your hands to your hips as you bend your knees and sit your butt way back into your chair. You'll lean all of your weight into your left foot. Lift your right heel and cross your right ankle over your left thigh for standing figure four. Remember, your hands can always come onto blocks out in front of you to hold something solid, but do your best to flex your right foot to support your right knee and ankle. Take a deep breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Can you lift your gaze as your butt sits 1 inch lower to the earth? Now inhale to come all the way up to rise. Bring your right knee to your chest. And this time to come to the standing thigh stretch, draw your right heel to your butt and let your right hand grab onto the top of the foot, just like you did with the knee down. Unlock your left knee, hug your thighs together, and as you push your foot back into your hand, this time you might start to bow forward in towards yourself. Your left hand can stay on your hip. The block might be right there to grab onto. You might also reach your left arm up overhead, or this time your left hand might wrap around to hug onto the right foot. As you take a slow breath in and down, stay for the exhale, push your foot back into your hand as you lift your heart away from the floor. And now inhale to rewind, come all the way through center, and lower both feet back to the ground. Left calf on fire? Because mine is. Maybe not, but you can shake it out, take a breath, and see where it takes us. So from that hip opener into that version of Nattarajasana, dancer pose. Start with your feet 2 fists width apart, hands to your hips, and sit way back into your chair. Now lean into your right foot, lift your left heel, and as you lift your gaze away from the floor, find a steady point to gaze. Anywhere your hands go, to your hips, to blocks, or in front of you, listen for the breath first. A slow breath that moves in and down, and a longer breath that as the heart lifts, your hips get a little heavier towards the earth. On your next inhale, come all the way up to rise. Let your left hand grab onto the top of your left foot as your right hand starts on your hip or on your chest. Unlock your standing knee like chair pose. Hug your thighs towards each other. And as you begin to push your foot back into your hand, take a bow. Reach the chest forward. That right hand can come anywhere, onto your block, onto your hip, maybe even by your ear, or maybe it wraps around to hug onto the left foot. But take a deep breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Can you press your foot back into your hand as you lift your heart away from the floor? And now inhale to come all the way back upright. Lower both feet to the ground, let gravity find you. Take a big breath in to reach up, touch the sky. And as you exhale, fold in towards yourself. Plant those palms to the top of your mat. Walk your feet all the way back for downward facing dog. And now it's always your choice. You can stay right here and breathe. You can always lower your knees to the ground and take your breaths closer to gravity. Or your breath might take you through one of those linking vinyasas we've done together before. And there's no wrong answer. Whether you're staying still or moving, can it be in reverence to your breath? The cool air as it comes in through the nose, and the warmth of your exhale as you offer it out through your nose or mouth. Take another slow breath in anywhere you are, and a deeper breath out. Good. On your next inhale, come all the way forward to plank pose and lower fully down onto your belly. Okay, we made it to our back bend portion. We don't need them quite yet, but does everyone have at least one therapy ball that you can work with? If you don't, maybe your neighbor has one next to you. Just to prepare, you can take it out of its tote and just set the one therapy ball off to the side. And once you come back down onto your belly with the therapy ball close, you'll start to, like you did in Locust, reach your arms alongside of you, turn your palms down to the ground, and this time bend your knees as you flex your feet and try to raise the roof with your heels. That's it. Press your thighs down into your sticky mat. Hug your inner thighs towards each other. And feel your sitting bones, your butt muscles, reach towards your heels. Now for this unbound bow pose, you'll push your palms into the ground. Hug the shoulder blades together. On your next inhale, start to lift your head. Lift your chest, float your arms up off of the ground. And exhale to raise the roof with those heels as you lift your heels to the sky. Breathe. Each inhale, can you hug the inner thighs together? Lift the heels high to the sky. Hug the shoulder blades together and spread the fingers as you lift your palms 1 more inch. A big breath in. And on your exhale, release as you lower down. Make a pillow with your hands. Rest on your forehead or on one cheek. And call back to the depth of your breath itself. A longer breath in through the nose, and an even deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. Okay, so we're revisiting. We'll take 2 more, maybe 3 more rounds of bow pose, but in between each, we'll add another level of awareness. So before we go to the second round, go ahead and find your therapy ball, and let's roll out the thighs, see what that does for us. So find your one therapy ball, and you'll bring it right above your right knee, somewhere at the bottom of your right thigh. That's it. Once you find a place that you can breathe in or be interested about, I invite you to make a pillow with your hands, rest on your forehead or on one side of your cheek. And now on your own, start to bend and straighten the right knee. See what shifts when the knee is bent versus straight. And the next time you bend your right knee, keep it bent as you move your right knee to the right and foot slightly to the left. Feel the therapy ball come to the inner thigh, and then knee slightly to the right and foot to the left, or the opposite direction. So on your own, you'll let your knee go from side to side so the therapy ball moves from east to west. Try to unclench the fingers, the fists, the jaw, and let each cycle of your breath get a little longer than your last. A longer breath in and a deeper breath out. And now after you spend some time on the bottom of your right thigh, come up a little bit higher, somewhere new. You can use your hand and pull the therapy ball up somewhere to the middle of your thigh. Now once you find this new place, maybe you rest on the other palm or on the other side of your cheek, and the same actions as you bend and straighten. Let your bent right knee move from right to left, inner to outer thigh. And as always, depending on the day that you practice, the time that you do this therapy ball work, whether it's your first time or you've been doing this every day, things might feel different. Maybe it's ropey, maybe it's smooth. Can you acknowledge the shifts without needing to change or alter anything? Now, after a few breaths in the bottom and the middle of your right thigh, pop the therapy ball out. Stretch your legs back behind you. We'll do the second side in just a moment, but before we get there, can you close your eyes or soften your gaze and scan your body's awareness? Feel where the memory of the therapy ball was in the right thigh. Feel where it soon will be in the left thigh. And let your breath inhabit and encompass all of that space that was always there. Now, after a few breaths, the same action just on the second side. Bring the therapy ball right above your left knee, somewhere at the base of your left thigh. Pillow with your hands, rest on your cheek or on your forehead. And on your own, no surprises, let the knee softly bend and straighten, and let your bent knee move from left to right. Often, the attention travels just to the therapy ball and the contact with the thigh, but this becomes a little more digestible and spacious the more you let yourself breathe, the more the breath accommodates itself into you. So can you take a deeper breath in, and with each exhale through your nose or even your parted lips, let some part of you get a little heavier. Your chest, your palms, your forearms. And now revisiting the middle or coming to the middle of that left thigh after you've spent some time at the bottom. Use your hands to pull the therapy ball up to the middle of your left thigh, slightly higher. Rest on the awkward palm or the awkward cheek. And same on your own, let the knee bend and straighten as your bent knee moves from left to right. We're rolling out the thighs because they're the primary muscle that might create space in the low back as you lift up into the second round of bow pose in just but a moment. So the space was always there. It's just a reminder of creating a little more room where there might not have been before. So after spending some time in the bottom and the middle of your left thigh, we'll use the therapy balls again later. Take your time to pop the therapy ball out. Let it set safely to the side as you drape your body down onto the earth. Take a deep breath in and down to fill your belly and up into the chest. And even open your mouth to let it out, to let some part of you, the front of your body, get heavier to the ground. Now, keeping that connection to your breath, begin to bend your knees one more time. Flex your feet And you get the option of either reaching your arms alongside of you as you press your palms down into the floor, or arm length depending, your hands might reach for the pinky side edges of your feet for Dhanurasana. But for any of these versions, hands bound or unbound, push your thighs down, hug the thighs together, and hug the shoulder blades together. And now with your breath on an inhale, start to lift your head, lift your chest, lift your heart. And as you lift your feet, if you're holding them, push your feet back into your hands and lift your heels up to the sky. Feel the memory of those therapy balls. Hug the thighs together. Push the feet back. Lift the heels up as you take one more breath in. And on your exhale, release, lowering all the way to the ground. Rest on one cheek, on one palm. You might wiggle your butt from side to side to clear space in the middle or low back, but a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. That's it. After a few breaths, come back through center, and you can prop yourself up onto your forearms or come to tabletop to take a seat. But one more option I want to show you for this last and final round of bow pose. Did anyone feel a difference from when you rolled out the thighs? Yeah? You didn't love that. You can also say no. That's a valid response. But the reason we roll out the thighs before any back bends is because they tend to stay a little quiet. The hamstrings will take on a lot of the effort. So when you roll out the thighs, sometimes it clears some space in the low back. So you're more than welcome to do exactly what you just did again for the last round, or to create almost a little wedge and lift for yourself. You might use your blanket. The aim of the game for this bow pose is try to keep your thighs on the ground the whole time. The last two that we did, the legs lifted. This one, you might be at a little angle so you can really drive your thighs into the floor. This is what it looks like. The blanket comes off the stack usually like this. You can fold it in half to give yourself a little wedge. And this time, your pelvis will stay connected to the ground. So my blanket is coming like below the breastbone, above the belly button in this region. And it's giving my chest a little bit of height and a little bit of lift. And now the same actions as you bend the knees, your hands reach for the feet. I'm doing these actions of trying to push my thighs down into the floor. And as you push your thighs down, bless you, you might be able to lift your chest up. Now here, instead of lifting the heels off the floor, I'm trying to drive the thighs down, push the heels back to create space in and through the chest. You'll take a few breaths, and then you'll come down when the time is ready. It's one of those that perhaps from the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of movement going on internally. But for my own sensation, when I press the thighs down, it's like a sprinkler going on. I can't figure out the metaphor quite yet, but it's like a in and through the chest. That's what I'm seeking. Stability here, so this can get more spacious.
Are there any cues? Because sometimes I feel like I'm pulling my shoulder blades like out of the socket. Are there any cues to like maintain that integrity throughout like the chest and shoulder?
Yes, it's, if anyone else has suggestions that help you navigate this too, would also love to hear them. I think before setting up, because you're holding onto the legs with strap or not, it's like a wee feeling. So trying to think even before the lift happens of not changing this, of hugging the shoulders to get up to the ears, lightly hugging them together, and trying to keep that integrity without kicking the feet back. So thinking less of how can my feet lift my chest up, but more how can I hug the shoulder blades together. Does that make sense? So maybe just shifting the mindset from the power of the legs to how much can I keep this without compromising. I'll take a look at it. Anyone else have suggestions? Like chaturanga. Something that might also help because it's all connected. These belly down back bends are like a wild category of poses because it's like you have the floor, there's only so much room that the chest can go, but even trying to think ribs moving back. Like all of this will be connected together. The pose naturally makes all of us want to do this, so it's very difficult, but even thinking like, okay, ribs back, shoulder blades together, might help it feel less like, there goes my arm to the back of the room. Good question. Last round, and then we twist and lie down. Okay, if you'd like to use the blanket, you can grab the blanket, fold it in half, or if you'd like to fold it in thirds, you can to create a little ball for yourself. But as you come to lay down, you might come fully onto the floor if you'd prefer not to use the blanket, or onto the blanket where your pelvis is down on your sticky mat. So the blanket, everyone has a Goldilocks place for it to go to. It's below the breastbone, above the belly-ish. And now reach your arms along the side of you. Bend your knees, flex your feet, and stay here or reach your hands back for the feet. Now to Keyshawn's point, kiss the shoulder blades together and slide the ribs back even here. Good. Now push your feet back to lift your head, your chest, and your heart up. For this one, drive those thighs down into your sticky mat. Push the middle, the bottom of the thighs down to hug the shoulder blades together. Slow down your breath in. Try to lengthen your next breath out. And then with care, on an inhale, release the hold of your legs down to the earth. Bring your hands to either side of your chest. Press up through to tabletop. And one great counter pose for these belly down back bends is coming to downward facing dog for the last time to create all those curves back in through the spine. So just one final down dog to maybe create space as you walk your feet an inch wider than they are. Lift your heels and let the knees be soft. Now with the knees soft, stick your butt up and back to the wall behind you. Feel the curve through the low back. Slide the ribs back to support the middle of your back. And now slide your ears back so your head is in line with your heart. Stay here with the knees bent, or maybe you press the thighs back and let the heels get a little heavier to the earth to see any shifts that you can create. A big breath in and a longer breath out. And now on an inhale, lower the knees down to the ground. And in a moment, you'll come to flip over onto your back, where your head is to the front of the room, your feet are to the back of the room. You'll have your block somewhere that you can grab it easily, and you'll also have both of your therapy balls somewhere where you can grab those easily. And if anyone needs a second one, please feel free to raise a hand and get comfortable, and I'm happy to bring some over to you. But set both therapy balls and your block off to the sides as you come to lay down with your knees bent and feet on the floor. Hug your right knee in towards your belly or in towards your chest. Straighten your left leg long in front of you. For a twist on your back, let your left hand hold the right thigh and move your right leg up and over to the left. Maybe bringing those blocks underneath the right thigh so the floor rises to you. Because less about how low can the right leg get, but how much can both of your shoulder blades stay connected to the ground. Your right hand might reach off to the side if you have space. You might rest it on your belly or on your ribs. But gently press the back of your head down into the floor. And maybe you start to turn your gaze to the left, towards the brick wall, letting the left corner of your eye, the left side of your cheek, and the left side of your jaw soften and widen against the ground. On your next inhale, draw your head up through center first, then let the right leg touch down as you lower both feet and give just the left leg a hug in towards your belly or chest. Being mindful of any props or neighbors, let your right hand hold the left thigh and move your left leg up and all the way over to the right, bringing all or as many blocks as feel appropriate. So the floor greets you where you are. This lets the hip flexors release and soften. It lets the belly be soft and full. And lets parts of your spine drape towards the ground. Stay right as and where you are, or your gaze might travel, keeping your head heavy, over to the right, turning your cheek to the right. Feeling the right corner of your eye, the right side of your jaw, the whole right cheek soften and widen against the earth as you breathe. Now on your next inhalation, as you draw your head through center first, then the left leg returns. Give both of your legs a hug in towards your belly or outer ribs. Finding some symmetry from the right to the left and front and back. You might make some small circles with your knees moving in one or the other direction. You might come towards happy baby as you widen your knees. Your hands might catch the backs of your thighs, your calves. I like to hold my ankles. You might hold your feet. But take a deeper breath in through your nose and a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. Now with care, release your legs down onto the earth. In a moment, before we come into rest, I'll talk you through a few breaths here with therapy balls in the upper back. If you'd prefer to set up early for rest, you're more than welcome to do so. We'll meet you there soon. But you can grab the therapy balls in your hands if you so choose to use them. Start to lift your head, neck, and shoulders up off of the floor. And from your upper back, pop the therapy balls in between your shoulder blades to the top tips of your shoulder blades. That's it. And there's no wrong place for them to go. Once you find somewhere you can breathe in, you might bring your head down onto the floor. In order to alleviate pressure, you might also bring your head up onto a block at its lowest height. But see if your arms can get heavy alongside of you, if even for a breath, as you take a big breath in through the nose. And open your mouth to let that breath out, to let some part of you get a little heavier. Now, just like you did in the thighs, 2 more places in the upper back with your knees bent, feet on the floor. Press just enough through your feet to roll your body to the front of the room. So you feel those therapy balls come down your back to the middle of the shoulder blades. So still in the upper back, just slightly lower than before. Bring your head back onto a block or the ground as you take a deeper breath in. And really open your mouth to let the breath out, to let the fingers and the jaw soften. And now one last place with your knees bent, feet on the floor. Push through your feet to roll your body another few inches north until you feel the therapy balls come to the bottom of the shoulder blades. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Stay right here, or you might reach your arms up towards the ceiling and give yourself a hug as if your hands could reach for the tennis or the therapy balls behind your back. But try to unclench your fists and fingers. Let the palms be soft. If you are giving yourself a hug, you might switch which elbow is on top to see what a difference feels like. As you take a slow breath in and an even longer breath out. And now begin to unwrap your arms if they're wrapped around you. Clear any of those blocks from underneath you if they're there. And for the exit journey, you can come in a couple of ways. Either scooch your hips towards your heels to feel the therapy balls roll up your back. You can also roll over onto one side, push them out of the way as you come back to lay onto the floor. But however they exit, see if they can fully exit for the remainder of your rest. And take your time to begin to drape your body onto the earth to prepare for rest. So as you give yourself a few moments to add any layers or props that you might need, you might let your hair down or set your glasses safely off to the side. Perhaps you're laying on your back or curled over onto your side, or even laying on your belly. But I'll talk you through just a few rounds of this cooling pranayama, Sitali pranayama. A breath that not only draws your attention more inward, but cools the body down in these warmer months to prepare for rest. So if you can, make that curled U shape with your tongue like a straw. You'll take a slow breath in through the curl in the tongue. You'll close the lips and exhale through the nose to empty that breath out. If the curl shape doesn't happen, you'll bring the upper and lower teeth together. Gently part the lips and focus on the inhale through the space between your teeth. You'll again close the lips and exhale through the nose. If you haven't already, you can try it once on your own, either inhaling through the curled tongue or through the teeth, closing the lips, and exhaling the warmth through your nose. We'll take 3 more at your pace, feeling the cool air as it coats the tongue, the back of the throat, the chest, all the way into the belly. And closing the lips to feel the warmth of your exhale as it offers itself out. When you finish your second or third breath here on your own, you can release the steadiness of your breath and begin to find the rhythmic cadence of your breath itself. And for these next few moments, can you let each breath slowly dissolve the entire practice that was? Each breath lets you arrive to where you are now. And each breath after creates a little more space for what has yet to come. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a deeper breath out. Take another breath in and down so it fills you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. Let your breath begin to slowly awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that feels supportive to you. You might roll your wrists or your ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you tip your head slowly from one side to the other. or being mindful of any props or those around you. You might reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your chest. But when the time comes, you can bend both knees, reach your arms overhead as you roll over to any side of your choice to curl into yourself. And after a few breaths here on the ground, with the least amount of effort needed, press into the floor and come up to rise to a tall seat, just as we began, facing the front of the room. With your eyes softly closed or opened, you can draw your hands to center anywhere that might feel for you. And we'll finish our practice the same way we started, with one more of those breaths. Wait for your inhale as it fills you up. And exhale to offer that breath out. You might bow your head to your heart or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple but profound gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to one another who practiced right alongside with you. And I bow to each one of you all. Thank you so much for being here and choosing to be together. Thank you. Drink water. Happy summer. Take care of yourselves and each other. If there's any props you used or mats that you want to give them a swipe with, there's a fresh bucket of wipes. And because she's here, I just got to put her on blast. If you haven't had a chance to take class with Nicole, who teaches, do you teach on Monday mornings? Okay, she's stacked the whole deck. But Nicole just opened a yoga studio in the Bach building called Hum, and I poked my sweaty nose into there on Sunday, and it was the most beautiful studio I've seen on the 6th floor. Pester her for questions. Lots of workshops and events and lots of familiar faces who you might know from the studio here, teaching there, including you. And the schedule is stacked and ready. Yes. And I think that, well, there's so much stuff happening, but it's in September, so maybe I'll tell you about it closer, even though September is a blink away. Anyone else have announcements? Things that you are doing, other people might want to know about or see?
August 22nd, it's a ways away, but August 22nd is the bookstore crawl.
Oh,
So I'll bring cards
and flyers and things. This is Molly, who owns Molly's Books and Records, and Bookstore Crawl.
to all over the city. We're going to be doing a small press and posting over there.
Fun. Thank you. Yes, perfect.